I was introduced to this almost 10 years ago. It's hard to believe. And this information that you're about to see has radically transformed my family's life. And I am just passionate about sharing this information. And I know with everything going on in the world today, there's it's a scary time, right? And there's a lot of fear and just uncertainty. And so I just want to be, just bring some hope, and, positivity, and just share this information on what we can do to maybe take control and just optimize our health. And also from a business perspective, if that interests you as well, versus feeling like we're just stuck at home and can't do anything. So let me go ahead and share my screen. So today we are talking, let me hang on one sec. Okay, we are talking about how to biohack the 3 theories of aging through nutrigenomics. And if this is your first time taking a look at this, again, thank you for jumping on this. Whoever shared this with you, they care about you. But I know biohacking, nutrigenomics, some words that we might not be familiar with. So the idea of this is biohacking. If we could biohack, optimize our genetic potential through what they call nutrigenomics, how nutrition impacts our gene expression, and take control. That is what we're talking about today. And we're doing that through what we call the 3 theories of aging, because it just makes sense to attack it from multiple angles and get a multi-pronged approach. So most of us, you might go to the doctor and fill out, your family history. My parents have this, my grandparents have this, whether it's heart disease, cancer, stroke. And we tend to think that is what's in our genes, and we're predisposed and we have a much higher chance of getting that. Well, what they've actually found is well over 95% of that can be impacted for good or in bad. The environment can be hijacking our body in so many ways, but we can actually take control of that, again, through what they call nutrigenomics, how nutrition impacts your gene expression, and optimize that. So we're going to be sharing that information with you. Like I said, I was first introduced to it 10 years ago. It was Father's Day, and I had a 3-day-old baby, believe it or not, a 3-day-old and a 4-year-old. And my good friend called me and she said, Carrie, I have something that's going to blow you away. And she shared this information. And I am so grateful that she shared this with me. And like I said, it's made a massive difference with our family, and I'm passionate about sharing that with you. Well, I want to start actually at the beginning of this story. And this is what I first saw when my friend introduced it to me. And it's just the tip of the iceberg. And it talks about the first theory of aging, oxidative stress. And it actually all began with an ABC primetime investigative report that aired back in 2005, believe it or not. And so much has happened since then, but it was an all positive ABC report. So let's watch just a little bit of that to get an idea, to see what led to millions and millions of dollars spent studying this across the globe. And then we'll fill you in on the rest of it after that. So let's start with that ABC primetime report. As you watch this, think about, who do you know that needs this information right now? More than ever, people are looking for ways to just optimize their body and function as best as they possibly can. Think about who else do you know that could take advantage of this information, and then think about the tremendous business potential positioned behind our groundbreaking products, because this is very different from anything out there that you've seen, and we'll go into that more. So let's check this out.
You want to get an edge on turning back the clock? Who doesn't? Well, it's no longer science fiction, but science possibility, a potential breakthrough. It may not look like the fountain of youth, but inside this nondescript building, I'm about to become part of an exciting experiment. For me, it begins with a blood test.
It wouldn't be the first time I've given blood for this company.
They want to check my levels of something called T-bars, which is a rough indicator of a person's actual age. T-bars can identify a condition known as oxidative stress, a kind of measure of the wear and tear on our bodies. Oxidative stress, like the rusting of an engine, is not a good thing. The problem of aging begins with the very food we eat to give us energy. As our cells burn that food, they also release toxic chemicals. Those chemicals, you may know them as free radicals, react with all the components of our cells, literally bombarding them millions of times per second, damaging all our cells. The result? Oxidative stress, and we all have it. The body fights back with a system of defenses. It makes two antioxidant enzymes, catalase and SOD, whose job is to gobble up the free radicals before they can harm our cells.
So, doctor, how often do I take these?
And so, here I go. With that swallow, I've just become part of a potentially landmark scientific experiment. It's called PROTANDIM, and tests have already shown that it revs up the manufacture of those good enzymes in our bodies. More enzymes, fewer free radicals to harm us. Normally, oxidative stress, measured by those T-bars, increases with age, but taking just one pill of PROTANDIM a day reversed that trend for everyone at every age, even for an 80-year-old. So just what's in this seemingly incredible pill? Well, actually, its roots are very humble. PROTANDIM is a combination of 5 plant ingredients. Some you may know: green tea or turmeric, a spice used in Indian cooking. Others, Withania somnifera and Silybum marianum, are more exotic. High oxidative stress is associated with more than aging. It's been linked to hundreds of illnesses.
It's at the very center of many diseases: liver disease, diabetes, emphysema, asthma, all of these, strokes, heart attacks.
Even mental disease.
Yes,
Depression?
Alzheimer's disease, depression.
But what about my progress? After nearly 2 weeks now, it's time to get my results. The result? My level of oxidative stress has declined dramatically. Just look at where I fall on the graph, before and after. Have we turned back the clock? Maybe not on the outside, but deep inside within my cells. Yes, indeed.
We do know that oxidative stress is part of those disease processes. I don't want to wait until I'm 80 years old and find out that I should have taken it.
The company that makes PROTANDIM says its tests show the pill, made from ingredients used for centuries, is absolutely safe. For more, go to our website at abcnews.com.
LifeVantage began in a lab with a single powerful scientific discovery. A discovery that proved that people around us have more capacity, potential, and ability within them than we have been led to believe. At LifeVantage, we can no longer accept the limits of the human condition. So we began introducing the world of biohacking. The idea that you can be better today than you were yesterday. That you can take control of your own biology. That your health doesn't have to decline as you get older. You don't have to simply accept the hand you've been dealt. In just a few short years, LifeVantage has brought biohacking to the mainstream, shortening the gap between cutting-edge scientific research and the customer. Every day in research labs around the world, we are learning how much more our bodies can do for us if we only flip the right internal switches. So we're creating products that flip those switches. And we're doing it with a dedication to quality and safety and a different approach to selling those products. Sure, we could have gone the expected route. Sold our products on big box shelves just like everyone else. In fact, at first we did just that. But we realized something. Our product sales were fueled by word of mouth and personal success stories, not marketing dollars. So we stopped paying big box stores and started paying our customers for what they were already doing, which allowed us to eliminate the gamble of traditional advertising in favor of performance-based payouts. And in the process, we ended up turning biohacking into a movement, empowering women, minorities, and all entrepreneurs to break societal barriers and realize what they're capable of, fueled by the power of a leveraged income. From 127 biohackers when we began to over 1 million in less than a decade. The movement has become a global phenomenon with no signs of slowing down. And our products aren't the only way we're investing in human potential. We're creating hardworking technology using AI, machine learning, and mobility to make it as easy to run a LifeVantage business as it is to take an Uber.
Welcome to the LifeVantage app.
Because of that first profound discovery, we are fiercely dedicated to helping others see what we have seen, to see the immense potential in those around us. It's an inspiring way to see the world. It's why the biohacker movement continues to grow at a blistering pace. It's why giving back to our communities is a fundamental core belief. And it's why in a few short years, we have expanded into 15 countries and counting and grown from one groundbreaking nutrigenomic product to over 20. It's why we now have relationships with CEOs, sports teams, and influencers. It's why LifeVantage has grown from $3 million in revenue our first year to closing in on $250 million. And it's why we will never stop. Because to change the way the world sees, you can't merely settle for different. You have to be better and engineer a world of potential in the process.
Oh my goodness, you guys. That video still gets me so excited. So like I said, I watched this for the first time on Father's Day with a 3-day-old baby, and I watched that ABC primetime report in the middle of the night, no joke, after feeding my little baby. And I stayed up researching it. I was intrigued. I was blown away. I'm into health and prevention, and I wanted it preventatively for me and my husband. And I immediately started thinking of some loved ones that were struggling with their health. And I just thought, what if? What could this potentially do to help them? So let me give you a little background. Like I said, that originally aired in 2005 on ABC primetime. I mean, think about that. If there was anything negative to find, it easily would have been an expose, but it was all positive. So the company was just a little bitty biotech company back then. And they were doing just a few $1 million in sales. And within just a few weeks, they were inundated with calls. Everybody that saw it, they wanted it. The company could not fulfill the orders. They were back ordered for over 8 months. Imagine if you're like me, or if you're watching this right now thinking, I want to get my hands on that immediately. Imagine not being able to get a hold of that for 8 months. And it was a team of researchers and scientists that were running the company back then. They just weren't prepared. They blew their golden opportunity. And it was kind of all but forgotten. But the cool thing about that is that researchers, scientists across the world, they saw that John Quinones, his oxidative stress was reduced by 45% in less than 2 weeks. So that led researchers all over to call and say, we want to study PROTANDIM in regards to all different diseases. So now that it's almost 15 years later, we know so much more about what this does. The American Heart Association, they published a study in Circulation Magazine, the premier cardiology journal. They did a 26-page study on PROTANDIM by name on what that does, what it does for the heart. That study was so significant, the American Heart Association then went on and funded a study at Ohio State University on coronary artery bypass graft surgery and multiple other heart studies as well. Louisiana State has studied it in regards to melanoma with the Skin Cancer Foundation as well. Johns Hopkins is doing studies, many other universities. So why? What is oxidative stress? If you're like me, when I first looked at this information, I was not familiar with the term oxidative stress. But as I researched it, I quickly found out that every single one of us has oxidative stress. You cannot escape it. We get it from the air that we breathe, the food that we eat, cell phones, microwaves, all that kind of thing. But just to keep it super simple, think of it as an apple. If you slice an apple open, it turns brown, right? That's oxidation. That exact same process is going on in each and every cell of your body. So what they found, and one of the first few studies showed that PROTANDIM is clinically proven to lower oxidative stress by an average of 40% in 30 days, up to 70% in 4 months. So if you could slow the cellular rate of aging or turn on the body's ability to heal that significantly, that's what we have our hands on. And that's the first theory of aging. So as I said, we're talking about something that is fundamentally different than almost anything out there. What I was familiar with were direct antioxidants. We're all told to eat our fruits and veggies, and they're a great source of antioxidant, which you absolutely need to eat, right, for proper nutrition and to fuel your body. but you will not combat oxidative stress through direct antioxidants. One antioxidant neutralizes one free radical, and that's it. It's one and done. Versus, instead of supplementation, we're doing what they call activation, this NRF2 activation. That's the really big ticket here. And what they found is by flipping the switch and turning your body's ability to produce antioxidant enzymes, now you can neutralize free radicals at a rate of 1,000,000 to 1 per second, every second, in every cell of your body. So think of it, if you had a giant house fire, taking antioxidants, eating your blueberries and spinach and things like that, that's a direct antioxidant. That's a Dixie cup of water on a giant house fire. But by activating this NRF2 pathway in your body, it's like a fire hose in every room of the house, massively more potent. That's why these universities are spending millions and millions of dollars studying PROTANDIM NRF2 activation. Now, here's how big of a deal it is. Washington State University, they actually published a review article, and they said NRF2 may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and extraordinary preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. So you guys take that in for just a moment. That blows me away every time I hear that or get to say that. That's what we're learning about, and that's what we get to share. The most extraordinary therapeutic and extraordinary preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. And then they go on to talk about how NRF2 is a master regulator of detoxification, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and other cytoprotective mechanism. So that's the difference in activation versus supplementation. And as I talked about, it's changing how your genes, it's flipping the switch with your genes. So they've actually found that it upregulates genes that are underexpressed and downregulates things that are overexpressed, like inflammation and fibrosis. But think of it as like a thermostat. It's balancing and regulating and getting your body to function the way it's designed to do. Now, these products, they don't cure, treat, prevent, or mitigate disease. We are just turning on systems, different pathways in the body, getting your body to function the way that it should, versus treating symptoms. So very, very powerful what we have our hands on. So what is PROTANDIM NRF2? Why are these universities studying this specific one? So first, it's a blend of 5 natural ingredients, and many of you might already have some of those ingredients in your home right now. So it's milk thistle, ashwagandha, green tea extract, bacopa, and turmeric. Those 5 ingredients, but the exact ratio that they're combined in flips this switch, and it's 1,800% more effective than if you took those individually. In fact, the National Institute of Aging, they funded a 10-year study, and they found that PROTANDIM was the only natural product proven to extend lifespan. Wow, isn't that incredible? Who do you know that needs to know about this information? And I love the fact that you can go to pubmed.gov, which is the National Institute of Health's National Library of Medicine, and type in PROTANDIM and see our independently funded, peer-reviewed, published studies. It's a huge deal. The company has also gone through a strict certification process. They're certified by the Banned Substance Control Group and NSF, so it's safe for even elite level athletes to take, and what's in it is truly in it, which is very, very important and great peace of mind as well. Now, as I talked about, many of you have those ingredients alone. This graph just shows the powerful synergy. So it's literally, think of it as like a combination lock. They had to get the exact right, it's not just the 5 ingredients, but the exact right ratios that synergistically is 1,800%, flips the switch and allows your body to balance and regulate. This concept of synergy is huge throughout some of our other flagship products as well. So as I said, we're talking, about 3 theories of aging and how to really attack this from a multi-pronged approach. So the next theory of aging they really looked at was mitochondrial function. If you think back to junior high, the mitochondria, it's the powerhouse of your cell, and very, very critical to help your body function appropriately. So it increases your cellular energy and cellular health, how the cells communicate and network. So very, very important to attack it from both the mitochondrial perspective and the oxidative stress perspective as well, seeing incredible things neurologically. And again, what I would say is, you can go to pubmed.gov, and, if you're wondering, well, will this help with whatever you're concerned about, and type in whether oxidative stress or mitochondrial function and, whatever you're looking at, and see the relationship and then how this benefits that. But it's that 1-2 punch. So if you can get each and think of the powerhouse of the cell, think of almost like the energy production plant, right? And then think of the NRF2, the oxidative stress is like the cleanup crew. And think of how well, how's your house going to function if they're not picking up the trash, right, in your house or in your city, and how that'll accumulate. So powering up the cells and removing that debris and that toxic trash. And then the company just last October launched PROTANDIM NAD SYNERGIZER. This is a huge, huge deal. New research is showing this to be a very, very promising theory of aging. So, a lot of us are familiar with intermittent fasting. And this is not intermittent fasting, but, that really comes from when they looked at people that have done severe calorie restriction, where you're limiting your calories to very severely. And they studied those people to see why were they having those health benefits, because they were actually finding many, many different health benefits for people that were doing this severe calorie restriction. And what they found is, in those groups, it was increasing your sirtuins, longevity genes, by 94%. So again, the company took this idea of looking at key ingredients, synergistically blended to impact different pathways, and they created the PROTANDIM NAD SYNERGIZER. And that's been found to increase your sirtuins by 100%. So more effective, and who can, severely limit your calories long term. That's very tough to do and challenging to do it in the right way as well. But so this gives you a higher percentage increase in sirtuins versus calorie restriction. So you have all those benefits as well. And that's a huge, huge, huge deal in and of itself. But then what gets me even more excited is the synergy amongst the 3 theories of aging that we've talked about so far. So by taking PROTANDIM NRF2, our first flagship product that was on that ABC report that lowers oxidative stress, by taking PROTANDIM NRF1 that impacts your mitochondrial function, and by taking the PROTANDIM NAD SYNERGIZER, each one has its own huge health benefits, but the synergy combined is literally through the roof. So just to give you an idea, just the tip of the iceberg. For example, we know that by taking PROTANDIM NRF2, our first flagship product alone, it lowers inflammation markers by 51%. That is a huge deal. Again, we're not curing disease, we're not treating disease, but if you can take down inflammation, help the body heal and function better, it's amazing what can happen. So PROTANDIM NRF2 lowers that by 51%. Well, by taking the 3 products combined, NRF2, NRF1, and NAD, it is literally 15.6 times greater at lowering inflammation markers than just taking the one alone. Isn't that incredible, you guys? They looked at detoxification genes. They looked at other genes as well. And so by taking the 3 products, you are literally getting through the roof results, massively helping your body function even better versus just taking them individually. Very, very exciting what we're seeing and what we've got our hands on. And then exciting seeing, the benefits of that long term as it rolls out for people. Now, we're also talking about NRF2 activation for the brain, and I am crazy passionate about AXIO. I've got my AXIO right here. It's a little stick that you pour in a bottle of water, and this is, again, it's NRF2 for the brain. So when when this first came out, they called it a healthy energy drink. You know, and in my head, I'm a high energy person. I've never done an energy drink, but I was just thinking, okay, like when I need a boost, but I was really missing the mark, not understanding how this was nerve 2 for the brain. And so think of it again, balancing and regulating. This drink is absolutely phenomenal. Mental clarity, focus, in the zone, clicking on all cylinders, have a killer workout. But anything brain-based as well, how it balances and regulates. This is actually a person who just struggled in school. You can see it with the handwriting and their spelling test. And look at the difference 2 weeks after they started taking PROTANDIM Nerve 2 and then the AXIO, the brain drink as well. Look at just their difference in their ability to focus and look at their handwriting. I mean, think about the potential for that. But I also, you know, I want you to realize this drink is for everybody. You know, who do you know that maybe they're dragging in the morning, right? And have a hard time getting going. Take it then. Or that midday lull. Or just great for calming things down and just promoting positive mood and function. That my entire family takes this, and this drink has literally been a massive difference maker in many ways. And then, you know, we all, or hopefully most of us know that a huge percentage of your immune system is in your gut, right? So your gut health matters, and healthy gut, healthy brain. And so the company, again, they looked at technology and what could they do to really be different and set us apart. So they created a probiotic, and the probiotic has this, what they call this patented BioTrack technology. So it's a little round ball, and it breaks down over time. It's time released. And so that way it gets all the way through your digestive tract and gets where it needs to get. What blew me away is, you know, you might be taking a great probiotic out there, but 96% of it is being lost before it ever gets where it needs to get. But with this patented BioTrack technology, 60% is getting where it needs to get. A massive difference. So 15 times more of the good stuff is getting where it needs to get. And then the company also created a prebiotic, which is phenomenal as well. It's a drink. It tastes great. You can do it by itself, or I love actually mixing it with the AXIO as well. And phenomenal for gut health also. The other thing with the probiotic, it has what they call Wellmune in it. You can go to pubmed.gov and look up Wellmune. There's incredible studies on that as well, helping modulate your immune system. It's absolutely phenomenal, and very critical in times like these, just to do everything we possibly can to have every advantage to help your body. I know that's me. I'm the kind of person, I'm a go kind of person, and I want, you know, what can I do to optimize my health in every different area? How can I feel and function the best? How can I stay ahead of the trend? So if that's you, hopefully this information is really speaking to you. And then the company took this technology, this Nerve 2 technology, and they applied it in different ways. Again, you know, the Louisiana State had done a study, or several studies, with PROTANDIM Nerve 2, the original pill, showing its impact with melanoma. And so they created a skincare line, because your skin's your first line of defense against oxidative stress. So they said it just makes sense to take it from the inside out, but also the outside in. So we've got a cleanser, a perfecting lotion, an eye serum, and an anti-aging moisturizer. Phenomenal what it's doing. We have Nerve 2 for the hair with the shampoo, conditioner, and a scalp serum, the world's first ever Nerve 2 hair care. We have Nerve 2 for pets, Pet Tandem. Our patents are actually on all mammals. Animals were having phenomenal results, and there's no placebo effect in animals. And so they created a Pet Tandem, and they've gone through the appropriate like getting it certified for those groups as well. And then we also have Physique, a healthy approach to weight management. So if you have questions on any of that, you know, get with the person that invited you so we can get you more information. This is really just designed to give you a brief peek and be a little bit of an overview. So for me, you guys, when I first looked at this information, like I said, I had a 3-day-old baby and I had a 4-year-old. Now my background, I was actually a retail manager, believe it or not. Definitely had no medical background whatsoever, although I am passionate about health and wellness. My husband's an attorney. He did commercial litigation. And at the time we were each working 60, 70 hours a week. I really felt like we were ships passing in the night. And I felt like the last 10 years, not much had changed. You kind of work your way up the corporate ladder and you're working harder and harder, making a smidge more money with more stress and seeing your family less. We're not seeing our first son hardly at all, with just one sitter after another, and then just having the newborn baby. I was really just at a place where I was thinking something has to change. I can't continue on this way. And if I don't make a change, the next 10 years are not going to look significantly different from the last 10 years. So when my friend shared this with me, it made perfect sense. You guys, I am the kind of person that if I believe in something, I am going to shout it from the rooftops. I naturally refer people to things that I believe in. And so it really made sense for me to take a look at this business. Now, I was not familiar with the industry. I didn't know really anything about it. But as I dug in, I was blown away by what I learned. So kind of going back to the story really quick, why are you learning about this information on a webinar today from me? Well, as I said, the company initially had that ABC primetime report, and it's publicly traded. The stock was $1 a share before that aired. It shot to over $20 the very next day on pure speculation alone as to what this product could do for people. But when they didn't have the product and it was backordered all those months, it plummeted. It went as low as 7 cents a share, and it was in danger of being delisted. Then the company went and they put it on retail shelves in GNC and CVS and places like that. And it sat on those shelves for 4 or 5 years, selling on average half a bottle per store per month. But think about it. If you went into a GNC and you saw this product and it was in the antioxidant category and it said clinically proven to lower free radical damage, what does that mean to the average person? And it's sitting there next to vitamin C and things that you've heard of. And it was $50 a bottle versus things that you're familiar with. It's way cheaper. So it just sat there. But during that period of time, that's when the research was initiated and funded. And these studies that I was telling you about, just a few of them were starting to come in, and they were really starting to understand what they had their hands on. So they ended up hiring a consultant, and he said, this is a product whose story needs to be told. Person-to-person distribution, word of mouth, that is the most powerful form of advertising. So back almost 11 years ago now, the company went person-to-person distribution, network marketing. And from that point in time, it's grown from 3 million to almost $225 million company, just by people that are passionate sharing this with others. So when I heard that, everything just really started clicking for me. And my next question was, well, who knows about this, right? Well, currently, you guys, it is still such a secret. To be honest, we're not doing a good enough job shouting this from the rooftops, because we have less than 80,000 distributors worldwide, and we're open in over 20 countries. And companies all go through what they call this business S-curve. And initially, you start out in the formulation and pioneering stages, and that's the make it or break it time. And most companies go out of business during that period in time. Well, looking at this today, we're publicly traded. We're on the NASDAQ. In fact, we just rang the bell on NASDAQ maybe a month and a half ago. Aaron Barakovich has been added to our board of directors. We have so much peer-reviewed research that has come in over the last 10 plus years. It's insane, but yet still nobody knows about it. So I feel like we're at this very perfect sweet spot. And think about supplementation. Think about taking antioxidants versus your ability to make antioxidants. Massive, massive difference. When the world realizes what we have our hands on, and that we have the independently funded, peer-reviewed, published studies on our finished products, that's a huge, huge, huge deal. So we're looking for entrepreneurs as well that see this vision and want to share in this. In companies, think about timing. That it matters, right? If you could go back in time and position yourself in the beginning days of Apple or Facebook or things like that, where would you be? You guys, I truly believe that's what we have our hands on, but it's in the wellness industry, and I am passionate about that. And I think from, looking at this now with everything going on in the world today, I am so grateful that almost 10 years ago, I had an open mind and had questions, but looked at it and got those questions answered, started this business. I'm able to work from home. I have people in all different countries. In fact, we've got multiple countries on this webinar today, but we're able to work from home. We're able to share this information. And I found that network marketing is a phenomenal business model when it's done right. It is servant leadership, and you can have a bigger ripple effect than you possibly could. So we're looking for entrepreneurs that see this vision on here is what we have our hands on. And maybe they're realizing, hey, I need different options. With everything that's going on in the world, they could be looking for ways to work. Really not much has changed other than my kids being at home for us right now, because I'm used to working from home and doing this kind of thing. So we're looking for entrepreneurs that see this vision. In fact, Harvard Business Review, they say that the first 135,000 distributors per country have the opportunity of a lifetime. And again, we have less than 80,000 in the world. So it is still this massive secret, but we are looking for more people to partner with and get the word out. So I say choose your level of biohacking. Get with the person that invited you to the webinar, get your questions answered, and figure out what products you'd like to start on. I absolutely recommend at a minimum starting on what they call the SYNERGIZER. This is Nerf 2, Nerf 1, and the NAD all bundled together. I love it. They're single serve little packets, or you can buy the individual bottles, but you take this every day, and I take it with my AXIO. My entire family uses all of the products, and I am passionate about all of it. We have what we call our vitality stack, and that also includes the probiotic and the omega. There's an ultimate stack where you can get the products individually. So choose your level of biohacking, get those questions answered, and start taking your products today. I love the fact that customers pay the exact same price that I do as a distributor. There's no fees to join, no whatsoever, and it ships directly to you. So, but if you are sitting here and you have people coming to mind, we all know people that are struggling with their health. We all know people that want to get ahead of the curve and be proactive on their health. And we all know people, especially now, that are looking for ways to create other sources of income, things that they can do from home right now, immediately, to create some income. So if you are thinking along those lines, there's multiple packs to get involved as a distributor. There's a silver pack, which is $350, a gold pack is $650, or the platinum pack is $1250. Each one of those comes with product. The bigger the pack, the more product you get and the more that you save. The platinum pack contains all the products and multiple quantities of some of them, so you can really get your family on it and start sharing it. And so again, get with the person that invited you, and they can go over what comes in different packs or different ways to get involved, and we're here to help you get started right away. Now, I was really blown away when I took a look at this business model, the ability to create leveraged income. That's what I was not familiar with. I had been a store manager at Bath & Body Works, and I was salaried, where a lot of people, whether you're hourly or commission, but you work and you get paid. And if you're not working, you're not getting paid. And people are feeling the effects of that more than ever right now. So what I found in this was we share this information. We're not selling, we're sharing from your heart, with science-based, something that can make a significant impact in people's lives. And you get paid month after month after month if people continue to consume these products. Think about that. So you might share something once, but month after month after month, I have people that I shared this with almost 10 years ago, and they're still taking it. And every month I'm getting paid off the work that I did in the past. But then the ability to create leveraged income, that was absolutely really mind-blowing to me, to be quite honest. That has led to a team of over 100,000 people in our group. Now, you guys, I can talk to a lot of people, but I certainly cannot talk to 100,000 people. But I have just shared this with family, friends, loved ones, coworkers, neighbors. I didn't want a single person that I knew to say, wait, you knew about this and you didn't share this with me, or you didn't give me the opportunity or just the information so they could make an educated decision on what they did. So I shared this with tons and tons of people. And then we worked together and taught those that were interested in sharing this information as well. And that's how it's turned into 100,000 people. My husband, like I said, he did commercial litigation, and really he was stuck in a very negative environment, working 1 million hours a week. And this business allowed my husband to retire from being an attorney 27 months after I first saw this. He was 39 at the time. He's been a stay-at-home dad for 7.5 years, and we've had our freedom. I am crazy passionate about this business, really for the freedom that it can give you. What, if you had the time and the resources, what could you do? Or if you could build a wall to protect yourself, as well. Like, that's very, very powerful. And we've helped retire over 50 different families. That is so rewarding, working with other like-minded, passionate individuals that are passionate about changing lives and helping people. And that's how it's turned into 100,000 plus people. So there's multiple ways we get paid. I won't go into all of them, but just again, think of the idea of getting paid again and again and again, and then think of the idea of getting paid a tiny fraction off of the distribution network that you're building as you help others do that. One way I'll touch on, though, is what they call our elite bonus pool. So the company goes Pro 1 through 10 based on how much product you have moving through your organization. When you hit the rank of Pro 7, you have at least $100,000 of product going out through your group. So what they do is they reserve 4% of gross global sales. And the Pro 7s through 10s, they get 1% of that. Then the Pro 8s, 9s, and 10s, they get another % of that. But there's less of those people, so that's a bigger dollar amount, right? And so forth. So why do I love this bonus? Two different things. First, you might be saying, well, Carrie, you know, this looks great, but I wish I'd heard about this 10 years ago when you did. This bonus is the great equalizer. The minute you hit the rank of Pro 7 and you've created a team of $100,000 in product sales, you participate in the work that was done since day one. So think of this as getting a fraction of a penny for every bottle that goes out in the world. Think if you could go back in time and get involved in Apple now and get a fraction of every iPhone that went out. That wouldn't be possible, right? But that's what we have our hands on with this today. So that's phenomenal. The other reason that I love this pool is the culture that it creates. We are like-minded people. We are passionate about helping others, and we are on a mission where we're going to get this word out, and we're going to do that best by working together. And this bonus really rewards that. So that culture, that teamwork absolutely matters. I'm sure you can think about times that you've had phenomenal synergy at work, and what a blessing that has been when you love, you know, who you work with. And we all have different strengths that we bring to the table, and having that team working together is amazing. So this bonus rewards that as well. Now, I love that we're publicly traded, again, on the NASDAQ. The ticker is LFBN. But here you can see what people are truly making. Just to give you an example, the average Pro 3 has $5,000 or more of product going through their group on a monthly basis. They're earning an extra $636 a month. Think about what a difference $636 could make for people right now. Think about what breathing room someone could have if they had started sharing this and were getting paid that month after month after month based on work they've done in the past. That is absolutely what's available to you. The average Pro 5 is earning an extra $2,900 a month. Pro 5 means you've got $20,000 of product going through your group. Not that you have sold $20,000 personally, but you have built a team and shared this with enough individuals and helped others to be creating that amount of volume going through your group on a monthly basis. The average Pro 7, that's where you share in those bonus pools. Pro 7 is over $12,600 a month. You know, people say, say, well, Carrie, who did you talk to? Because let me tell you, like I said, I was a Bath and Body Works manager. Nobody was coming to me asking what they should take, right? But I shared this with everybody. My boss that had hired me at Bath and Body Works, she's a Pro 7 with this company. My doctor got involved. He said he had managed to avoid network marketing for over 20 years. He had taught and trained physicians all over and created different supplements. And he was absolutely blown away when he started to see some results he could not explain, dug into the science, and ended up sharing this with others as well. He's a Pro 7 with this company. The average Pro 8 is making over $24,000 a month. I've done hot yoga for over 11 years. And you guys, just keeping it really simple, what I found, most people, we are sharing and we're referring to people to things anyway. So why not get paid? And your paycheck is directly related to the bigger impact and the bigger ripple effect you have. So I've done hot yoga all these years. I have sent so many people to yoga. So when I saw this in my mind, it was really simple. It was like that, but again, life changing. Well, my yoga instructor, Marisa, is a Pro 8 with this company. She saw this and ran with it, and has just gone crazy and never had done anything like this before. My next door neighbor, Maria, she's a Pro 9 with this. The average Pro 9 is over $48,000 a month. I'm a Pro 9 as well. I introduced this to Maria, and we were two girls on a mission. We had this vision. We wanted to get this out to the world. We saw the freedom that it could create. We saw the health benefits, and we just started sharing it. We were coachable. We had a burning desire, and we had incredible work ethic. So Maria's a Pro 9. So one thing that I love about network marketing is it's a great equalizer. It doesn't matter your background or anything like that. You can get in, you can get started. You've got to be coachable. We have a system to plug into that teaches you every step of the way. You have built-in mentorship, and anything is possible. Yes, it absolutely takes work, but I really encourage you to think if what you're doing right now, if you're not happy with what you're at, what's going to change? Does this make sense to consider adding this as an additional way to build income? Or I absolutely invite you to jump on these products. Like I said, 90% of my business comes from customers. I love that. That's a solid, rock solid business. It's built on a game-changing products with science to back it. So in closing, I just want to say thank you guys for taking the time to jump on this webinar. Again, I want to give hope, right? Hope. Instead of just feeling in fear that we can't do anything with everything going on, what if you can take control? What if you can optimize your body's ability to perform and function better through nutrigenomics and biohacking? What if if the business resonates with you, you can create another source of income as well. And now is the perfect time to get started. We have webinars like this going on all the time, and you are not in it alone. So just get back with the person that invited you to this information, get your questions answered, and thank you all so much for jumping on this webinar. Be safe. Thank you all. Have a great one.